11, is that 10 years? It will be 10 years since APC, Egbekegbe, unleashed terror on the Biafrans. At least. I don't think it should take 10 years. It should, if you have real evidence. But the bottom line is that, no, it is not about prosecuting him. It is either to get him killed or lock him up for as long as they want, until somebody else will now come in and just be like, oh yeah, you know what? We are sorry for the way you are treated. Okay, sorry about that. Please just go. And that is why the Eastern governors have been talking about political solution, because they are raising the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in gatherings like just side talk. But they are making it, they want to make everyone believe that, oh, we are having discussion with the highest authority. So the government of Nigeria ensured that there is a judicial compromise, manipulation enough, yeah, that their law doesn't really matter. Somebody is in the custody of the DSS. And why is that? And then the Nigerian DSS is not supposed to be like a withholding agency, if not because of this abuse of power that has become. So then the court became so powerless before the DSS that the request to transfer him away from these criminals, right, was completely rejected. Okay, fine. For whatever reason that you had to do, you had to insist. Great. Now, this person is not feeling well. It's not fine. It's got, organ, what do you call it? Some organ issues that needed to be examined and possibly medicated properly in the proper hospital. Under your own, by your own kind of like a rules, but just let him have access to medical care. And they insisted, no. Their own physician, DSS physician, also said, well, it would be good if he could go to the proper hospital for check. His legal team suggested that, hey, if you think logistically, taking him to National Hospital, or what do you call it, Abuja, right? We could make arrangement with private hospitals. But they are worried, they are afraid of what? That he may escape from their grip or what? Because the last time they attempted to kill him, this was in Abia State, right? When they attempted to kill him, how he managed to get away from their grip remained a mystery that I bet they have been asking him since the last time they kidnapped him from Kenya. And yeah, one of his solicitors believed that, hey, come on, man, who is a dumb? Knowing what is going on in this country, the court said they wanted an evidence. You need to give us evidence, not just that we know or we heard. No. Give the evidence of. Did they sign paper when they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya? Like Kenya authority, or they signed paper. Nigeria signed and said, yeah, okay, this is the paper that we both signed. That, okay, you handed him over to us. Kenyan authority kept denying and denying until it became a case in their country. And the government had to send a lawyer. Then they admitted. Then they started kind of giving all this inconsistent information about what they did to Nnamdi Kanu. At the end of the day, their own court found them guilty, and their role they played. In Kenya, so a judge in Nigeria is not aware of that. Are there no court documents about when they kidnapped him in 2021? Right? They took him straight to one court. Binta, was that not Binta Nyako? Yeah, Binta Nyako. They took him to her, who granted the DSS the right to keep him for as long as they wanted. Then she now ruled. I don't know. I think she ruled that Nnamdi Kanu had a case to answer, something like this too. Then the case got to the appeal court. 2022, appeal court said he had no case to answer. truly. That there's anyone who knows their law in that contraption, once they present Nnamdi Kanu's case before you, you should at least be honest enough that you have no jurisdiction to touch him. The only way you can touch him in Nigeria, if Nigeria is a lawful place, so would be if they have already instituted a case against him, either in the UK or in Kenya, to file for his extradition. That is to say, they must have found him guilty of the reason why he has to be extradited, right? Then a judge would have ordered that he should be taken back to Nigeria. They will do all the paperwork, everything. Then you take him to Nigeria. That is when you can now present him before any court or any judge for any crime in Nigeria. They didn't do that. I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, come on. They've been trying to wriggle through it and all that, ignored as many laws as possible. And these same characters are the ones who are telling you that you are overreacting. Because you saw the Fulani terrorist, armed terrorists, doing peace talk in the open. They are doing Operation Safe Corridor for killers, for murderers, for kidnappers, right? And there's none of them in any court right now standing trial for all the people they have killed. In that same Nigeria, military be spokesperson for terrorists. They defend them on national television, providing solutions on how to placate terrorists, on how to appease them on national television. And the same set of people are denying their normal rule of law for a man they call terrorist, right? Who's got his own lawyers, who's got his own followers, who have millions of people who actually look up to him all over the world. Yet their law is, crooked, compromised. So I'm not surprised if a member of his legal team believes that the reason why he is being treated this way is because he's an Igbo man. It is very hard not to actually think it that way. Very tough not to. Yeah? I mean, we have other people they are persecuting. None of them has been treated the way they have treated Nnamdi Kanu. And you can attest to that, yeah? Even their own law, in their own country, in their own courts, has become so compromised deliberately, purposely, just to lock him up, deny him access to medical care. Anyway, Omotosho said he has mandated the Nigerian Medical Association to set up a panel in 8 days and report back to him and confirm the state of health of Nnamdi Kanu. So on that issue of having him transferred to main hospitals for care, for checks and all of that, right, hasn't been ruled on. But here is the man who represents his constituency from Abia.
I know whom I am not, I have South for a constituency, the National Assembly. I am the primary representative of Nnamdi Kanu. We're very disappointed in the ruling of the court today, where especially the court took a position that the extraordinary rendition was not going to be part of the consideration today. But he, however, to be fair to him, said if we can prove that there were extraordinary rendition, then that would change his consideration. So we are coming back. I've been assured by the lawyers that they are coming back to show that proof. One, the issue of jurisdiction. We will now know whether this court has jurisdiction or not. That's number one. Then number two, there seems, I keep saying it, there seems to be two sets of rules in this country. One for the Igbo man and the other one for every other Nigerian. Where every other Nigerian gets a reprieve, the Igbo man would not get a reprieve. You look at even the issue of the health situation of our brother. There have been many circumstances where people have been given opportunities to go and seek medical care, yet Nnamdi Kanu is denied. Even the president, at every consideration, the president goes overseas to take care of himself. He doesn't even subject himself to Nigerian medical attention. So it is very wrong for them to deny Nnamdi, who the doctors have laid clear evidences that he's having insufficiencies, organ insufficiencies. And what is the government waiting for? for him to die, and then the circumstances will now be brought up again. So, but for the Igbos, I'm more disappointed with the Igbos. The political leadership of the Igbo land, the spiritual and otherwise concerned, are keeping quiet, extraordinarily quiet, on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, especially when it is shown that when it concerns to others, especially in the north, the government is negotiating with terrorists, non-terrorists, dressed up who with guns and having. No, I am not. Myself.
So that was kind of like cropped out. I tried my best to save it, but it was too late. But the audio was perfect, so I left it. You know, that's the guy who represents the constituency of Nnamdi Kanu in Abia State, Abia North, I think, federal constituency. And he's kind of been very consistent. He's been very much around. Every time he's had a court appearance, he's always been around. And it's very hard not to think like that. So put a shoe on, put that tight shoe on that foot that it hurts, then you can understand. Like, you have somebody in your court, he's committed a crime allegedly, and it's taking you over 4 years in the last count, and over 10 years overall in trying to prove what you said he did and all that. So the purpose is not really to have him face justice or get justice. It is practically to silence him and possibly kill him, and at the same time kill kill his advocacy, his goal, his vision, and all of that about Biafra. And it's proving difficult, I want to say, to achieve for them. And that's why sometimes you wonder what is Tifnubu's business in all of this? There could be some political implications for him if he decided to just smash the jar and just say, you know what, to hell. So now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is someone they want to use for their political bargaining. Do you get that now? So I think probably Kalu will be taunting them in northern Nigeria with, if you do anyhow, I will just release Nnamdi Kanu, kind of. So the lawlessness, the level of impunity that you watch from far, if you are paying attention, are enough to give everything up that, man, this is not a real place. Pray this contraption never happened to you. Just pray. And that's one thing about injustice as well. You see, the whole world is watching, the young, the old, even in Nigeria, everybody is watching. And the actions of these lawless rogues, APC, Egbekegbe, and their affiliates, right, is that they are constantly, right? It might be slow, but they are constantly, like consistently, they are radicalizing even more and more people that, man, by the time they matured enough, right, these guys won't be able to handle them. Then they will be more violent. They will probably have no chance of conversation at all. And that's what they are doing. Because to them, right, they have the power to lock you up for as long as they want. Not even the court can free you. Not even the court. If they really have interest in you, right, not even the court can free you. That's lawlessness. It radicalizes the citizens. And others will realize that the only language they understand is violence. If you want to have anything to do with the Nigerian, Nigerian criminal rulers or ruiners, you shouldn't be using microphone. What do you call it? Stop using microphone, camera, and laptop. All right, get yourself some. You know what I mean? Because that's the only language they will understand. With that, they will probably want to have a conversation with you. They are radicalizing their people. And I kind of have an idea possibly how this is going to end, right? So we are now going to be looking forward to a day that will be announced, which is going to be the beginning of the opening of a defense. They've already told us what they intend to do. If the court says they need evidence that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned back to Nigeria, then that may change everything. Well, if that is the case, they have promised, right, to supply the courts with barrage of that evidence, enough for the judge, right, even if he is blind, enough for him to see this time around and not say there is no proof, there is no evidence that he was kidnapped in Kenya, right? So Dangote and Pengasan, this is just passing news, by the way. Things have gone, they don't turn to head though. Last 2 weeks, it was a back and forth sort of like fight between the union called the Pengasan and Dangote refinery. Let me give you a quick, refresh to refresh your memory, right? Or a quick recap. So Dangote, after his refinery was ready, went on to go and sign a partnership deal with so many oil retailers, outlets, or those filling stations, right? So, there was some important group. They are called the truckers. I mean, they call them truckers. Those are the guys who drives the truck. They are called the oil marketers or whatever other name they give to them. They are the middlemen, right? So somehow Dangote who possibly got an advice that these guys are compromised and maybe corrupt, and they could sabotage his operation. There's a difference between sourcing your crude oil from America, bringing the crude oil to Nigeria, refining the crude oil and the rest of that, the products, and now to distribute the product becomes a bigger problem simply because there is a group called, yeah. So to solve that problem, Dangote decided to go and buy 10,000 trucks. He made a deal with these, oil outlets. 6 of them. I actually have in a name. I've always wanted to announce the names as they are. Dangote himself, Dangote Refinery advertised it himself, right? So, hang on. Name of this station. So, Connoy. They have Connoy, Eternal PLC. That's also a petrol station, right? They've got Golden Super. They've got Nepal. I've been at Nepal Energies. They've got Kifayat Global Energy. They have a Request Oil and Gas. They have another one called Emadeb Energy Services Limited. These are filling stations all over the country. It's like, what do you call that thing again? No, franchise, right? Like you have this Total, and then you see Total everywhere. Sort of, okay. So the deal then is, how do they get the products to them? So Dangote ordered 10,000 trucks, and 4,000 arrived, meaning he could personally deliver the product to his to the retailers straight to the pump, and that made the Pengasan irrelevant, sort of. So 1 month short, they now said, okay, if that's going to be the case, we need to protect the interest of the workers, those who are going to be working for you. And it was like, they were protected. They were all right. Said, no, they are not. So it became an issue that Dangote was said to have partially agreed that if you are working for him and you want to join the union or paying gas and wherever, you can go ahead. But they have their own union in Dangote workforce, right? And Dangote believed that their interest is protected. Anyway, government intervened, called both parties, had this tete. and it seemed that it was resolved. The following day, Dangote said something like, okay, sorry, the following day, Pengassan said, oh,